is Austin from Music Freqs. I'm one of the guitar instructors and luthiers over here, and we're going to talk about guitar anatomy. First, we're going to talk about the body of the guitar. So, body will usually contain pickups, knobs, bridge, saddle, toggle switch, and sometimes a pickguard, but we'll get to that later. First, we're going to talk about pickups. So, sometimes they'll look like this, sometimes they'll look like that. The only difference is, this is one of these, this is two of that. Got it? Now, the actual difference is, this one is going to be really noisy and you're going to get a hum. This one is called a humbucker because it bucks the hum. Recently they made it that these don't hum as much, but that's why they created those in the first place, and that's it. Next we're going to talk about the bridge. Sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it looks like that. The difference between the two is this one, it floats, ooh, like that, with a whammy bar. This one does not have a whammy bar, it stays still. There's tons of different bridge types, at least 5, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Next we're going to get into these knobby knobs, as Erica called them, right? 2 of them are going to control tone, one of them is going to control volume. As you can see, this one's labeled. See? Volume, tone, tone. Now, why are these here? Well, volume, in a sense, turns the guitar on or off. All the way down, the guitar's off. All the way up, guitar's on. The tone knobs help control either the brightness or the darkness of the way the guitar sounds. So if you turn the tone knob all the way down, you get a dark, muddy sound. If you turn it all the way up, you get a bright, kind of sharp, happy sound. So if a guitar has multiple tone knobs, it's controlling different pickups. All right, next we're gonna do is shame this guitar because it's absolutely naked because it does not have a pickguard like this finely dressed guitar. What a pickguard does is it's this big plastic bit you put on the guitar to protect the pick from scratching the body. Next we're gonna talk about this, the toggle switch or pickup selector. You can have either a 3-way or a 5-way switch. A 3-way is gonna just select either this one, or that one in terms of pickups. But a 5-way switch, it'll blend them together. So like all the way down, we'll be using the bottom, kind of a little bit above it, we'll use being some of the bottom, some of the middle, and then so on and so forth. You just keep blending the pickups the more you go up. Next, we're gonna talk about what this guitar doesn't have. This, the Lamy Bar. So what it does is when you push it down, it loosens the strings, making them get all floppy and lower. And then if you pull it up, it tightens the strings, making them tighter and higher. And lastly on the body, we have the input jack. This one, right on the front, and then this one over here, on the side right here. That's just where you plug the cord in so you make the electric guitar actually electric. Now we're gonna talk about the neck of the guitar. So first we're gonna talk about these metal guys that go across the neck like this. These are called the frets. These little metal lines that accurately depict what note you're playing on the guitar. Then we're gonna talk about these little dots on the neck here. So what those do are they're there to help you figure out where you are so you're not lost all the time. And then the reason why this one's doubled here is because that's the octave fret, the 12th fret, which means it's the octave of what string you're on. And they put it on the side like this so you don't have to hunch over and look where the dot is. They're right there so you can just look down and be like, oh, there's the 3rd fret. All right, now we're gonna talk about the spine of the guitar, which is the truss rod. Now, you actually can't see it because it's in the neck like this. The truss rod is what keeps the neck straight and from bowing back or forward. The truss rod adjustment on this particular guitar is this hole right here. You stick an Allen wrench in there and twist it so much to get the spine straight. Whereas other guitars will have the truss rod adjustment way down here, where you stick an Allen wrench in those little holes and you do the same thing, you twist it. Next, we're gonna talk about the headstock. So we're gonna start with this thing right here. This thing is called the nut. So what the nut does is it keeps the strings going nice and straight up here to the headstock area. So you have these things called tuning pegs. See how the strings wrap around it like that? That's because the tuning pegs are literally holding the string in place, keeping it nice and tight and in tune. And then what adjusts it are these things called the machine heads. You twist them either tight or loose to make the string go or. And then of course, this, the logo. It's what helps identify a guitar because this is literally the name of it. ARIA STG series, right there. Then you have this, the serial number. So if you really want to identify your guitar even more specifically, because that's literally the guitar's identity right there. Kind of like a prisoner, actually.
Like its social security number.
Yeah. It's its social security number. That concludes today's lesson. I'm Austin, or today I'm Dr. Austin, and I gotta get back to work, so if you'll excuse me, I just gotta... Where'd you put that oh, yeah, right where I left it. Alright, like I said, this one wasn't looking too good. And then let's go.